Warning, this podcast was produced by two men who still think that swearing is both big and clever. As a result, it contains quite a lot of it. Therefore, this podcast is not suitable for children, unless they're really fucking cool children. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. I'm back in the realm of the living after COVID. Thank you for listening into the episode on YouTube we did with Stephen Hill. I was a bit quieter on that episode because I was fucking dying internally and externally. But we had great feedback from that one. We had a lot of fun. Big up to Stephen. As always, check out Riot Act Podcast. Those are great guys out there. We love them a lot. Hopefully have another collab with those coming up in the not too distant future. Wanted to say a big thanks to Daniel Martin, who donated some money to us. Big up to Niall Bakewell as well, who's got his direct debit set up with us. If you do want to give us money, details, we've got a PayPal. One of these days we'll sort out a Patreon or something like that. We probably should, I guess. People keep telling us we should. Or merch or something. We're hobbyists, man. We do this for love and fun, and I hope you're with us. At some point we should probably try and monetize in some way, shape or form, but fuck it, we're not that bothered. Anyway, what else can I say? If you want to find me, I'm working a lot at the minute. I'm gigging here, there and everywhere. I've got a website coming soon, so I'll hopefully have all my dates up on there in the not too distant future. Sometimes we do get messages asking me, but just follow me on social media is the best way to find out where I'm going to be. I'm working a lot on the club that I've worked with Stephen Grant, which is called the Forge Comedy Club. If you don't know Stephen Grant, he's an absolute legend of Brighton comedy. He's written for everyone. He's one of the funniest men in the country, I think, and he's got a new project called the Forge Comedy Club, which is, I would say, the best comedy club in Brighton, bar none. And I'm working with him on that, and that's taking up most of my time at the moment. If you're in Brighton, come down. If you're going to be in Brighton, send me a message. Let me know you're coming down. I might even be able to get a cheeky little discount for you. Who knows? I want to give a shout out to Mr. Sean McLaughlin, former guest of this podcast. He's got a new podcast out himself called Failing Better. It's him and Johnny Pelham, very, very funny comedian Johnny Pelham. Do check it out. It's called Failing Better. They've got different guests on. I think they had Sophie Willan on the first one, Ed Gamble on the next one. Do check that out. Rob Mulholland as well has got a new podcast, which, as you probably can expect, is full of foul language and unpleasant imagery, because that's Rob Mulholland for you. You may remember Rob, he guested on the hip-hop episode we did a couple of years ago, and he's got a new podcast called Dead Men Talking. It does it with Freddie Quinn. Please go and check that out. Very, very funny shit. But not for the faint-hearted, to be honest with you. Sean McLaughlin's also on tour across the UK, so go and check out Sean if you can. If you are going to be in Brighton for any of the Brighton Fringe, I have a new show called Dave Fensom Dog Eat Dog. It's a work in progress. It's going to be at the Carolina Brunswick. I've got 2 dates at the start of the Fringe, 2 dates at the end of the Fringe. I'm also running On the Edge comedy throughout Brighton Fringe. So if you want to come and see some comedy, you want to maybe come and say hello, do come and say hello to me. Anyway, guys, with no further ado, we're going to crack on with this podcast. This one is, it's about an album. I guess I don't want to say too much about it really, because we get into this into the podcast in quite a lot of detail, but it's about UB40's album from 1993. Make of that what you will. Hope you enjoy this episode, guys. Take care. See you next time. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. I am joined, as always, by my main man, Mr. Krista Greer.
Hey, everyone.
Good to see you, Krista.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. I'm assuming you're feeling better than last time we recorded.
Yeah, fucking hell. I mean, I listened to some of that back. I didn't sound well, did I?
No, indeed. For anyone who hasn't heard the last episode, Dave was suffering from COVID at the time and had to do it via Zoom with a bunged up face, basically.
And brain fog, mate. My brain fog has persisted, actually. I tell you what I did the other day.
Go on.
I was emceeing a gig, and kind of feeling mostly okay. In the first act, I went up and I did my bit and brought the first act on. The first act finished her set, and I've just been sitting, watching, enjoying it. And I was just clapping away, and she came back up and basically handed me the mic, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to go back on fucking stage.
I'm working tonight.
Yeah, so like when people fucking talk about COVID brain fog,
wow.
It is real, man.
Oh well.
I'm not fucking around with it.
Professional comedian Dave Fensom here.
Yeah, I MC a lot as well.
I know exactly.
It's not like it's new to me. Yeah.
Well, this will clear the cobwebs out of your brain because we are doing a UB40 album today.
Oh yeah. Shit. Hang on a minute.
Have you just remembered something really?
Yeah, I've left something in the oven.
Is it a rat in the kitchen?
Yeah, if you could just finish this off for me for the next couple of hours, and I'll come back and do the end.
Oh, God, yeah, UB40.
So, look, obviously, we have a big thing. We try not to prejudge any records going in, but at the same time, it's quite difficult not to prejudge stuff when we've got an entire playlist of cod reggae highlighting how badly we dislike.
Oh, how many times have we said on this podcast, someone does a reggae track, a mistaken thing that they think is a good idea, and we're like, well, I mean, we don't like reggae anyway, and then this has happened. So yeah.
And look, I have no actual problem with reggae as a concept. I think there's some good reggae songs, some good reggae artists. I think very few of them are white. I like some dancehall stuff. I like some of the harder edge stuff. You're less of a fan of reggae than me in general, I would say.
I'd say that's true. I think there are a couple of good tunes, but as a genre, I find it very hard to differentiate between a lot of them. It sounds like one big long song to me.
Mate, have you just done the musical equivalent of They All Look the Same?
I think I have,
Fucking hell, mate.
Well, hey, maybe this UB40 album will be the thing that
turns you around.
Finally makes me realise reggae music is all right.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be Aswad that made you turn around, would it?
No!
Implicit in the instructions. Okay, so this is UB40's 1993 album. It went to number one and it fucking stayed there, didn't it?
Absolutely. This is a 7-week run at number one, which is by far the longest that we've seen in this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mainly driven by a monster of a single, and we'll discuss in which ways it is monstrous when we get to it. No
Absolutely,
doubt.
Yeah. So this was a big old record for them. It's their 10th album. Released in 93 after the first one they formed in like the 70s and they were started releasing stuff from the early 80s. It reached number one in the UK and number 6 in the United States, which made a big difference for them. This made it this is their band's best-selling album. This has sold over 9 million copies, but it's only their second UK number one album after their 1983 album Labour of Love. But if you're looking at their breakthrough or whatever, this is the big commercial hit for them.
Sure. And had they done well in the States before
Not overly. They'd done okay, but this was by far the biggest thing they'd done out there. I did see a stat, which is kind of an interesting one, that apparently both UB40 and Madness, they jointly hold the record for most weeks spent by a group in the UK singles chart during the 1980s, 214 weeks each. Which I didn't realise that UB40 would have been that big a singles band in the 80s.
Well, I mean,
I remember the big ones, but not.
Yeah, I mean, I am also surprised by that. I know that. I mean, I'm always endlessly surprised by the status of UB40.
But true enough, the fact that they're still touring and selling out big venues today.
Yeah, well, there's 2 different versions of them now.
Quite.
Yeah, we'll
I'm sure
maybe
we'll
get
touch
into
on
some
that.
of that. They do not care for each other. It's fair to say
they absolutely don't. No. So 93. I'm going to assume that you're in the same position as me. I don't remember this album happening one bit at all. I remember the big single.
I remember the big single. I mean, I remember it was from a film. I can't remember which film
it was from Sliver.
Sliver? Fuck, was it from Sliver? God, this film, the people in Sliver must have been like, oh, we've been a little bit eclipsed by our shit weird kind of... I'm not sure I've ever seen Sliver. I'm fairly sure I fast-forwarded through it.
Absolutely. It's one of those.
Voyeurism film, wasn't it?
Exactly. Sharon Stone post-Basic Instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure you don't remember this happening. I don't remember it happening. And so this is all brand new to me. Have you ever heard a UB40 in its entirety before?
No, I've never wanted to listen to a UB. I mean, no. I would imagine I've probably... I'm fairly sure I was working in HMV when UB40's greatest hits came out or something.
One of the many.
I'm sure that I've been subjected to some of it in the past.
Yeah.
But I've certainly never through choice. I mean, they're not a band that have done anything that I've ever liked, that I've heard.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Apart from a passing comical enjoyment of Rat in My Kitchen.
I see. I think 1 in 10 is a really good single. I think it's a really catchy song, but everything else I've heard from them is, I get it, and I am talking about Rat in the Kitchen and Red Red Wine and those big hits. I've gone, no, not at all, not at all.
Not for me.
So
No.
I wasn't looking forward to this, having to do this at all. Really, really was going.
Oh no, I've been.
No.
Yeah, this is. My worry with this one is that it's just going to be something that I don't enjoy, and I'm hoping I can find. I'm hoping to be proved completely wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love it if there was a couple of bangers in here.
Yeah, really hoping to be proved completely wrong. Outside of that, I'm hoping some of it's funny. I hope it's just not po-faced shite.
Fine. Okay. Well, I've got nothing else really to say on it. We usually talk about the album cover at this point. It's really dull.
I mean, it's very blue.
It's a big kind of a blue wash square with a white surround, and it says UB40 promises and lies.
Yeah, so I was trying to work out if that's actually what it was, because obviously I was looking at it on a computer screen. Because strangely, I didn't buy this one. And yeah, I got it as high a resolution I could, as big as I could, and yeah, it is just some. I'm sure it's very, very important somewhere in a modern art circle. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a fucking load of blue.
It says nothing to me, very dull.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything else really to say about it. I mean, I try and do a bit of research on kind of how the album came together and if there's any interesting stories. There's nothing on this.
No.
There's nothing at all.
Good. Let's move on.
Fine.
Okay, so the first one's called C'est La Vie.
Right, track 1, C'est La Vie. Not the Bewitched song, unfortunately.
Which is a banger.
That is a banger, yeah.
Fuck your dad.
Yeah. Right, here we go. This is it.
Right. We're not off to an auspicious start.
Hey, boy!
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a very tinny production already. Oh, here's some horns. This was the 4th single out of 5, by the way. And it was the lowest charting of all the 5.
I mean, I've described this bit of the song as jolly bollocks.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. It does. It starts off very silly.
And we've got some very insipid reggae coming through.
Yeah.
And then bizarrely, in this kind of weirdly sunny song, there's some very dark lyrics.
Oh, it's absolutely. I mean, I think they've always been that kind of political band, making points, raising awareness of stuff. This is them going, oh, the world's a bit shit. The world's fucked here.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen what their fan base looks like, and I'm not sure the message is getting through.
No. But it starts off, like I said, a little bit silly, but it moves into this kind of bubbly pop that's happening. The vocal is typically him. That's, very Ali Campbell.
I mean, I find it particularly unpleasing. I had this on in the car, and my wife just went, that is not a nice sound, is it?
Oh, I see what you mean. I mean, it's weird. There's these kind of little weird water droplet sounds, like what stuff like that. Soundboy. I don't mind this. I think this is relatively okay pop background stuff. I think this is pleasant enough.
God, no, we're not in the same place on this.
Right, I see. I think it's all right.
I don't like anything about this.
Yeah.
I find the samples just weird and distracting. I find the vocal awful, the lyrics incongruous with the music.
Right, sure.
It's just an enormous bag of no thank you very much.
Is that right, yeah?
Yeah, do not care for this at all.
There are, in the lyrics, he talks about hearing stuff going on, and the premise seems to be a woman came and said to me, and I don't know why he's getting approached so often in the street by women telling him their problems, but there's like, a woman came and said to me she'd seen a lady sell her baby, and then a woman came and said to me there's brother killing brother, and a woman came and said to me she had a husband on an island.
So you obviously haven't done enough research, because there was a brief time in the early to mid 90s when Ali Campbell was actually the agony aunt for the Daily Star.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That would make a lot more sense. Right, dear Ali, I see. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just one really unlucky one. It could be that. But otherwise, he's just getting stopped in the street with woes.
Like what? One very unlucky woman, well, like the woman from Murder, She Wrote.
I've got a couple of the buzzers that I bought for our Cliff Richard episode. I'll put a couple of little sound bites on here from Ras Trent by The Lonely Island, which is
the best reggae song ever.
It's amazing. But definitely the best one by a white man. Yeah. So I've got just a classic, and I've got. I don't know when I'm going to put them in, but they're good fun.
I mean, I'm enjoying them, mate. I'm enjoying them. Exactly. I'm going to take them to my gig tonight and see how that works out.
Wicked. So I was actually pleasantly surprised by the first song in this album. I thought it's instantly going to be making me angrily how bad this was. And I was like, oh, this is okay. This is all right.
Have you had a particularly good week?
I think maybe I have. I don't know.
Yeah, has everything gone all right?
That could be it, you know.
Are you a massive fan of energy bill rises? I'm in my dreamland.
Snow in the middle of spring.
Snow in the middle of spring, mate, which is one of the best reggae albums ever recorded.
Quite. The other thing I've noticed about this song is that there are only like 3 verses in the chorus, whatever it is, and the last new verse is over by 2 minutes 10, and yet this song goes on for another 2.5 minutes after that. It just kind of repeats some bits, does the same stuff over again, and then goes into a massively long fade out.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether that's because they thought, oh, we've really hit a groove here. Let's keep this going, guys. This is too good to stop. Or if they thought they were going to have time to write another 2 verses and then didn't, or something like that. But it really just goes on and on. I was wondering, is this a mistake? Why wouldn't you just stop this?
I mean, I thought multiple times throughout the song that this was a mistake.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't analysed it in that level of detail because I was too busy being annoyed by its existence.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we're different on that, but I'm not. I want to point out, I'm not saying I really like this. I'm saying this is all right. I'm saying this is better than I thought it was going to be. And it's okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the caveat. I know where we're coming from here.
Yeah, fine.
Right, let's do track 2, which is called Desert Sand.
Right. Oh, Jesus.
Well, this sounds like straight to video, like kind of like sexy music.
Oh, man. Awful.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What's going on with that sound?
Yeah,
someone had to invent sounds.
Do you know
like
what I mean?
this.
No, it sounds like a sex scene of a kind of hard-bitten detective.
Okay.
Okay,
here we
so
are.
now we've got the reggae shuffle has come in.
Yeah.
A little bit of dub style.
Dub style. This sounds to me like the management has gone, all right, look, it's the 90s now, you know, guys. There's been a lot of dance music happening. Let's try and stay relevant. What do those other buttons on your keyboards do? And they're just trying some shit out.
See, I'm not going to lie to you. I like this vocal here.
Oh, this bit, yeah? Right. I'm not a fan of that.
I really like the phrasing of this vocal.
Okay.
It's possibly one of the only vocals on the album I like.
See?
Not to give too much away, but I hate this significantly less than I hated the first one.
Oh, that's interesting, because no, I don't like this as much at all. I think this is really quite shit.
See, I think this has at least got a vibe to it, right? Look, let me be incredibly clear.
Yes.
When I say I hate it less than last one, what I'm saying is I wouldn't run to turn it off.
Okay.
But I would also never, ever put it on purpose.
Yeah. Right, I think this is really shit.
Oh, I like this better than the first one.
Interesting. Okay. Right, I don't know what it is about the sound of this one, but it annoys me loads more. Yeah. And the lyrics on this one, it's the classic kind of point of going, well, just because you're okay doesn't mean that you can turn a blind eye to the rest of the world's problems, that sort of thing. And it's, great. That's a good point. And yes, it should be said. But I think it's put to such a bad tune that I'm like, actually, I don't give a fuck about those problems anymore. You've made it worse.
I mean, you didn't care about them anyway.
No, that's also true.
You're lying to yourself. If you
I am.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't mind this one.
Right.
There's something else I kind of want to say here, but I won't.
Oh, okay. You're going to keep it?
Yeah, I'll keep it to myself in a minute. So let's move on.
You got more. The other thing on this is, again, there are only 2 verses and 1 chorus in this, and both of those have been done by 1 minute 20. Mm-hmm. And this is a 4 minute 48 song. So they're literally just filling time. They're doing the one kind of bit they've written, and then they are repeating it 3 times over to make a song.
The thing is, if you had come up with a rhythmic device so unique and so different to the rest of your output, you really would want to showcase it, wouldn't
That's
you?
very true, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can find it, but I'm pretty sure there are some really kind of weird, cheesy house stabs at the end. Those little piano bits.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Okay, so let's do the title track, number 3.
Okay,
Promises and Lies.
And Lies. Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus, that's a painful horn, isn't it?
Awful.
And we've all had one.
Not in years.
And, that's a horrible rhythm.
Ali's crashing in there with some more slightly reedy vocals.
I've I live tweeted this one almost.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, Christ, this is insipid.
Right.
This is the title track.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Really?
I know.
I went, what's he going on about? Because he's talking some absolute shit in this one.
Oh, really is. Really is.
Who signed off on this vocal?
Well, quite often I have thought throughout this, like, who's the producer in this? Why have you allowed this to happen? And then I realised, the band have produced it.
I've thought to myself multiple times through this.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought a group of people got together and did this on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And thought it was a brilliant idea.
And started at point A, made multiple changes, and got to a point and went, well, I think that's it, guys.
I know.
I mean, I've got so many questions about this. Listen to this music. I find it much easier to see why young people hate baby boomers.
Well, we really should point out this is not what it was all about back then.
No, not for us. I mean, generation, we were raging against this machine.
Well, true.
And obviously, they've got some political lyrics, but I mean, Christ,
it's a world apart.
It's like the British home stores of reggae, this, isn't it?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, this is the thing. I mean, obviously, reggae was kind of built on a politicised worldview and trying to make points about the oppression that people were feeling.
Yeah.
This is so fucking weak.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, if you start off with a cube, right?
Yes.
And you keep sanding the corners down, there is a point that what you've got no longer is a cube, it's a ball.
Too smooth.
Okay, yeah. And that's exactly this. It's, it's impossible to be spiky and polemic when it's music for dinner parties.
Yeah, how many times have we said is people, middle managers thinking, oh, well, I don't just listen to white men singing pop music. I like some reggae. But no, this is the reggae you like. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's do track number 4, I guess.
This one's called Bring Me Your Cup.
Oh, I think someone's getting a message alert there.
Right. That's exactly what it sounds like, isn't it? It sounds like someone's getting a fucking text and interfering with the speaker.
Yeah. Indeed.
I literally put here, what is that noise?
I know. So this was the 3rd single. Got to number 24.
I mean, like this is like the kind of the sexy one, isn't it?
Oh, this is pretty filth if you actually look at the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, I have read the lyrics, and do you know what it made me think?
Please stop. Please don't say these things, Ali Campbell.
That's yeah. Anyway,
but yes,
I just went. Think about the absolute state of the cunts that have fucked to this. Just like, do you know what I mean? You imagine those encounters just stinking of Bacardi or Malibu, right?
Right.
White women with fucking too much suntan and hair braids, seashells in them. Like, like Monica's dreadlocks in Friends.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, men with their trousers up too high.
Oh, lovely.
Like, white people fucking dysrhythmically to this music. And look, basically this song makes me side with the people that think that involuntary sterilisation's okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's pretty damaging stuff. This whole thing.
It slopes along for 4 minutes and 15.
Yep.
And then it must be breakfast because someone's put on the toaster.
Right. Let's find that bit. 1 second. Oh man, that's just horrendous. That bit.
I mean,
why?
5 minutes 41 of this shit.
Yeah,
5 minutes
horrendous.
41.
This really makes me think of whenever Ricky Gervais did Equality Street.
Yeah,
it's that sort of. Is this a piss? This could be a piss take. If someone played me this and went, "Oh mate, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard," I'd be like, "Oh, who did that? Is cleverly bad." This is awful. Even E17 did this sort of thing better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree.
And they keep doing this. This is the longest song so far. They keep doing that bit. Where's the bit as well where they kind of cut up that sexy lady line? It's like, they've discovered a sampler button on their Casio.
Yeah, I mean, it's no Pass the Dutchie, is it?
It really isn't. But as it gets towards the end, he's going to start messing around here. Why? Oh, it's
sexy lady,
horrible.
Sexy lady, sexy lady, sexy lady, sexy lady.
Terrible. If anyone is like, because we're talking all over the lyrics, I'm sorry about that. You can go and look them up. But if you're wondering why is this song filth, what are they talking about? The lyrics are things like, "I've got the bottle, bring me your cup. Pop the cork and try a sup. And when you're empty, I'll fill you up. We'll drink it down till the sun comes up." You know, it's like, oh, yeah. I mean, that's not nice.
I just don't want to hear the words coming out of Ali Campbell's mouth.
No. What I did think of when I was listening through, just listening to these lyrics, Ali Campbell, he appears to tell us his real name at the start of this song, and his real name is Eddie Gnome.
Eddie Gnome?
Yeah, Eddie Gnome. Here we go.
I'm Eddie Gnome.
Eddie Gnome.
I'm Eddie Gnome. Oh, Jesus.
All right, Eddie.
Cheers. This is awful. Nice. This is so bad. It's cringe-worthy.
I hate it.
Really, really.
I hate it.
Oh, it's so bizarre. And third single.
Are you joking?
Somebody went, all right, fuck it. Let's chuck in the sexy one for the ladies. I think this was their Christmas one of December.
Oh, can you imagine a worse Christmas?
Ugh. Well, only having to suck off Ali Campbell. So fucking supping from his bottle. Dear Christ.
Ali Campbell's cream of tomato. Ali Campbell's creamy mushroom.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Right. Well, how about on that note, we take a break from this album and look at some other albums that come out. Jesus Christ. Right, so we're looking first at the top 10, and I kind of mentioned this in our previous episode. Because this album here was number one for 7 weeks, we've got a lot of other time to look at what else was released, but for the last episode, I had to kind of allocate 2 weeks of time to that one because there was nothing else to talk about if I didn't. So we're looking a little bit into whenever this, because this was number one from the 18th of July, but the time I'm looking at is August the 8th. So a couple of weeks in, just because that's the way it balanced out. So the top 10 albums of the week of August the 8th to the 14th. Number 10 is Rod Stewart's Unplugged and Seated. Number 9 is Take That and Party. Number 8 is Jamiroquai, Emergency on Planet Earth, which we have done. Number 7, Michael Ball, Always. Number 6 is Four Non Blondes with Bigger, Better, Faster, More. Number 5, Spin Doctors, Rocket Full of Kryptonite. Number 4 is, I think, a new entry. I think we've seen this before. Billy Joel, Rivers of Dreams. Mm-hmm. So that's out. Number 3, R.E.M. Automatic for the People. Back up to 3 for some reason. Yeah. Number 2 is U2's Europa, which was our last episode. Okay. Top 10 hardly changed at all.
Not a lot to get your teeth into.
Not really. But then we're looking from the time period of August the 1st until September the 4th for any other stuff. Yeah. AOB. And we've got some crackers in this one, to be honest. Start off with Cypress Hill released Black Sunday.
Yeah,
got to number 13. And so this is kind of halfway through 1993. And I was thinking, I thought I knew about Cypress Hill before this point, because obviously the debut album was out 91, I think it was. And then I was thinking again, I don't think I did. I think I heard Insane in the Brain, thought that's incredible, bought Black Sunday.
I did.
And then went almost, as quick as I could, went back to the first one.
I did for sure.
It wasn't until this point that I knew Cypress Hill at all.
Yeah, me either.
But what an album Black Sunday is.
Oh, it's perfect. It's one of those albums that I kind of don't talk about enough because I love the first Cypress Hill album so much. And we discussed this briefly, I think, on the last podcast, where Black Sunday is the Siamese dream to this first album's Gish. Almost.
Okay, sure,
It refines the sound, it takes a few of the edges off it, polishes it a little bit
Definitely
more, but
produced,
still fucking bangs it out.
Oh, yeah.
But, if you've
massive tunes.
B Real's fantastic on this record. Like, Muggs is the absolute star of the show. Some fantastic fucking production on
the beats are great on it. And because it does go from the kind of the party bangers to the more really slower, laid back, cool ones. And then some really upbeat funk stuff as well. It's so well put together.
Of course.
Beautifully done.
Love this record, man. Any favourite tracks on there that you can think of?
Lick a Shot.
A liquor shot is fucking tune,
just
man.
because it's just that drive, boom, 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 and then the
Liquor
fucking
shot.
when it breaks, it's wicked. Yeah, love that shit.
Drum, where you come from? They're fucking brilliant, man.
Yeah.
And hits for the bong as well, just with that sample
Classic.
of Son of a Preacher Man.
Oh, it works so perfectly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And then the other kind of big hip hop one that was released in this time period is Onyx, Back to Fuck Up.
I mean, again, one of my favourite ever hip hop
So
records.
there's a lot of ridiculousness on there,
Oh,
but my God, it just drives you along.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of got to think that they knew that some of it was silly at the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know.
Sure. You can't be that over the top and not go, this is a performance.
Yeah, and if they were, then fair fucking play to them.
You don't call yourself Sticky Fingers and think that's serious,
Yeah,
surely.
you're going to have a track on your album called Black Vagina Finder.
Quite.
You know?
Yeah, and go, no, mate, yeah, we're authentic, serious hip-hop. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
We're basically Public Enemy right now.
that bit, I'm a B-boy standing in my B-boy stance. Up and give me the microphone before I busted my pants. I'm mad author of anguish, my language polluted. Onyx is heavyweight and still undisputed.
Brilliant.
One of the best rhyme runs of all time, man. I love it.
Wicked.
Love it to this day.
Wicked. Then in other news, Alita Adams released Evolution, her follow-up to that terrible shit that we had to do.
Yes.
Only got to number 10, this one, so we don't have to listen to it.
Thank fuck for that.
Yep. Front 242 released 05220912.
Wicked.
I don't know what that means. Got up to number 46. Boo Radley's released Giant Steps, which I kind of liked at the time. I really liked Lazarus as the single. It was a really deep, swirling indie tune. Really cool. The rest of it I wasn't such a big fan of, and I did get turned off whenever they went real balls out pop, mid 90s.
I don't know much of the Boo Radleys. What I have heard, I am fairly sure it's not for me.
No, but the stuff that you would have heard definitely isn't up your street.
You think I'd like the earlier stuff then?
I think you'd like Lazarus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. It's very cool. Pennywise released Unknown Road, and I wasn't aware they were going in '93.
I mean, this is the whole this scene.
There's a lot of stuff coming through.
This scene is existing underground. It's just starting to, because this is a scene that kind of made itself. You know, it grew.
Yes.
Grew to a level where there were too many kids going to shows, and they had to start and the record company started taking it seriously.
Right.
Which is the thing I've always liked about that kind of punk movement.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a lot of things about it I don't particularly like. Most of the songs.
Yeah, a lot of music.
You know, I had my brief moment in the sun where I really, really got into it. But when you meet people that are really, really into it, though, it's just like they're quite dull, aren't they?
Oh God! And very often we'll listen to nothing else.
That's my point. It's
I just like punk.
If you like the bands you fucking dig in, it's like I mean, you know, there are bands in that genre I really like. I love Rancid. I love Rancid.
True.
Massive Rancid fan. But you know, we're back into reggae territory. I mean, a lot of it sounds the fucking same.
Yeah, quite. I think that very much. I was never into those sort of things. But I was just surprised to see that '93 saw a Pennywise album release. And Bad Brains released Rise. They were a band I never was into, I admit. They were always touted. They were kind of sort of people who were 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
Loved Bad Brains.
Yeah.
I missed that boat, never got on it.
Yeah. I mean, I love Bad Brains. I don't listen to Bad Brains that often, but when I do, I enjoy it.
Fine. Neurosis released Enemy of the Sun.
Yeah, fucking love Neurosis.
Right.
Obviously, I must admit, I'm not a completist when it comes to Neurosis. I kind of dip in and out.
Sure.
Obviously, Through Silver and Blood is a fucking enormous record. I play that all the time.
Right. Okay. But in '93, would you have been aware?
No, I didn't get. I wasn't aware of Neurosis until many years later. I was
fair
very, very late to the party on Neurosis.
Fine. Well, I mean, speaking of very late to the party, the last one I've got on here is the debut album by Clutch, Transnational Speedway League, Anthems, Anecdotes, and Undeniable Truths, 1993.
Absolutely.
And I didn't know them at all until 2000, was it?
It's certainly late 90s. Pure Rock Fury.
Pure Rock Fury. That's the album that I first heard them.
I mean, but what I will say is, as soon as, because you were working in promotions
we
that time, you sent me
promoted that record, and it blew me away. Absolutely blew my face off.
Yeah, I mean, I went on an immediate, like one of those immediate I need to hear
Straight
everything.
down record shop.
And like,
what else?
I started. I was hanging out on the Clutch message board.
Oh right, yeah.
Our friend Lee Lewis. That's where I met her.
Sure. Oh right, nice one.
So yeah, I mean, like Clutch have just continued to be one of my favourite bands.
Oh, amazing! Absolutely.
But and it's one of those things because like now it's like everyone likes fucking Clutch.
Yeah.
But like when this came out, no one fucking knew who they were. Pure Rock Fury days, they were still. Hardly anyone knew who they fucking were.
I think I saw them on that tour at the Underworld.
Yeah,
that's what they were playing. And obviously it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
And I'm so glad.
It's
such an unlikely story that a band carries on for that long and starts finding this level of success.
It's true.
This late in their career.
Yeah.
Brilliant, and I've met them and they all seem very nice lads.
I bet you they are. Yeah. One of the best drummers in rock. Not necessarily in terms of like technique or anything like that, but for a fucking funk and feel to it. Such a groove.
And faces. Let's not forget faces.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I fucking love her, man. Like I would happily let my wife leave me for Neil Fallon.
Oh, you got her. And you couldn't say no.
I'm fairly sure she would.
Yeah. Well, they're playing Brighton in November, and so we'll be going to that. I'm sure. We'll head down. All right, there you go. That's your albums. Some really good stuff in that one. So yes, this is summer of '93. That's a good time. Yeah. Fucking Black Sunday, Back to Fuck Up. And then, coming through Clutch, Neurosis, Pennywise.
I mean, I literally bought all of those hip-hop albums on tape.
Oh, it was, those were the days.
Had them on tape, rocking them on my Sony Walkman.
Lovely. Right, well, since we've had such a good time, let's get back into UB40.
Oh, fuck. I think I've left the iron on.
Oh. Iron Lion's Iron?
Yeah. I think my mum's calling me. She needs me to open her...
Oh, man.
I think my Amazon delivery has just arrived.
Oh?
Yeah, I've ordered a
Oh, God, we're so easily amused.
Oh, we really are. But not that easily amused.
Well, okay.
Because a band of at least 32 members spent months on this record, and results so far are mixed.
Yes.
Right, okay, let's do...
track number 5 we're at.
Yeah, Higher Ground.
Okay.
Presumably a cover of the
Stevie Wonder
stroke Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes, wouldn't that be fun? A reggae version of that.
Oh, it's the 80s.
That's awful. Oh?
Hang on a minute.
Okay, all right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. A lot of strings going on in this one.
Oh no, it's got really wobbly. It's got fucking Parkinson's disease. This
was the second single. This got to number 8.
You are fucking around.
Number 8 in the charts. This got to. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is Schrodinger's song. Because it manages to be simultaneously utterly anonymous and still utterly infuriating. It's dog shit. This
is probably my favourite so far. I don't mind this at all.
Fucking moron.
I think there's actually a little bit of a tune to this, and I kind of like that chorus.
I can't stand this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind this at all. I think this is pleasant.
No.
Lyrically, it's like whatever. It's about enjoying your life and taking the wonder around you. Be open to experience. Fuck that. I don't care. But it's got a little catchy chorus that I'm okay with.
I do not enjoy this at all.
Right.
Fair enough. Good on you.
Yeah.
I've nothing else.
No.
Nothing on this.
Another one where they wrote 3 verses, 1 chorus, and sang it twice.
Yeah.
It's like, don't know what this is. I think it's laziness. But I don't know. And you mentioned that you thought, I wonder if it's a cover of the Stevie Wonder Higher Ground.
Yeah.
And thankfully it isn't, because I fucking love Stevie Wonder's Higher Ground, and I don't want them to piss about with it. But I did find that they have done a Stevie Wonder song.
Okay.
I'm going to play a bit.
Are you playing a UB40 song that we don't have to listen to?
Well, I did think that was a bad idea, but listen to how shit this is. They did this for the Eddie Murphy film Vampire in Brooklyn. Right, so that's the level we're on to start with. But, we're in a flop film a couple of years later, obviously, than this album. But this is a cover of Superstition.
It sounds like a cover of Who's Going to Drive You Home by the Cars.
Oh, yeah.
Or Drive.
No.
Oh, fuck off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
How bad is that?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, mate.
Kill It With Fire.
Awful. That was awful. I don't mind this song, Higher Ground. I don't mind it. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Weird.
I don't know how to communicate with that.
No, and it's entirely possible that at this point I was going, oh, Jesus, I gotta like something. Maybe I'll just stick a pin in this one. Don't know.
Okay.
Right, well, let's go on to number 6 then. Just in case we'd forgotten what UB40 are all about.
Well, yeah, what's it called, this song?
Reggae music.
What the fuck was the rest of it then?
Well, you can't call every track insipid.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, hold on. What's going on here? What's going on?
Mate, I'm not going to lie.
I said when friendship come first.
I can tolerate this.
I thought this would be up your street. I thought this is going to be the one that Dave's all right with.
I mean, I can tolerate this bit.
Oh,
What fucking fresh hell is this?
this is terrible. I thought the exact same thing. Oh, they've gone a bit different. They've gone a little bit harder. And then this comes. It's fucking steamrollers.
It's like it's badly mixed in as
Oh,
well.
yeah, totally. Yeah, it just flattens the whole thing out.
I mean, look.
Good God.
I mean, look. I find the overall bit, the kind of the more upbeat, toasted bit on here, more fun than the rest of it.
Oh, sure, okay.
I can tolerate this. I hate the chorus.
Yeah.
But the third verse, where he name checks all the members
every
of the
single
band,
member, yeah, sure.
and he describes Ali as the man with the golden voicey.
I know.
I mean, it is bad, and it's all about kind of having good friends and all of that. Friendship's being the most important thing.
Yeah, sure.
And now they all hate each other.
Oh, like viciously in courts.
Who is doing the
I'm
vocals?
assuming it's a guy called Earl Falconer, who is in the band from the start. He plays bass, and I'm assuming that because in it he says, "Me are the bassy."
Right.
So I'm assuming that's who's doing it. Because that third verse is all about, and here's your man on trombone, here's your guy on trumpet, blah, blah, blah. And this is, I don't mind this either. I think this is a lot of fun in that bit. I wonder, why did they do it? Why did they go down this direction? And this, again, was the 5th single. This got to number 28. So it's fucking mental that this was a UB40 song in the charts. But is it because we've seen loads of Shabba ranks?
Yeah, Shabba's doing some numbers, mate. Do you reckon they're trying to
Shaggy's in.
I don't know. I mean, for all I know, the rest of the albums have got these tracks through them as
Actually,
well.
that's the point.
So maybe we're the Johnny Come Latelys that don't understand that this is part of the eclectic chocolate box that is UB40.
Maybe so.
But whatever, I didn't mind it as much. I fucking take that a million times over another insipid reggae song.
Right,
or
sure.
worse than that, an insipid cover of a beloved Elvis Presley song. What's the next track called?
Well, it's I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Oh, just fucking... It's like nails down my face.
Mate, the amount of effort, the amount of people's time, energy and money that has gone into making something this fucking disgustingly bad. This is a fucking hate crime.
So weak.
This is like...
The thing is, when this beat comes in, I'm like, oh, is this the direction they're going? Are they just decided to do this kind of slow break beat?
But this sounds like Michael Jackson's What About Us?
Oh. And then suddenly, this has happened. Fuck me. And so, this was the first single, got to number 1, obviously. This was fucking massive. Absolutely massive. And this is the reason that this album sold as many as it did.
And I hated this with a passion at the time.
Yeah.
And often these songs like that I come back with and I go, I was just being a bit of a dick. I was young and, actually, of course there's something in this. It wouldn't have been as big if there wasn't something in this. And I don't see anything in this.
This is just dreadful. Dreadful. There is a review on AllMusic of this album. They have said that the album in general, but this song in particular, finishes UB40's transition from a reggae band to an adult contemporary band that plays reggae pop. And that's exactly what it is. No, even if you're like, okay, I did like 1 in 10 and I liked those 1980s albums, if you then get this thrust at you, you're like, well, this is a different band. This is sellout. This is commercial pop shit.
And this is part of my problem. It's like, put this out on your record, on your album, do your man. So fucking sell out all you like. I don't care. I'm well beyond those points. You know, everyone's got to make a living.
No,
you
dude,
came
yeah.
from nothing, fucking make some money. I don't give a shit. But don't put it on the same album that you're trying to make political statements about, because you've lost the right. You've lost the right. You've lost the moral high ground.
You've
you haven't
sold
got
this
it.
to Hollywood.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You've taken the fucking filthy lucre, right? Unless you've donated all of that to food banks, then you've sucked the cock. Stop pretending you haven't.
Yeah.
You've funded and created as many problems as you will ever come close to solving, and you've participated, you know, in the fucking dance.
In the merry-go-round.
So
It's
go fuck yourselves.
horrendous. Thankfully, this is the shortest song on the album. This is under 3.5 minutes. So
It feels longer.
It does. It feels like days and days. Yeah. This was number one in loads of different countries all around the world. It was the most successful single of the year in New Zealand for that year, 1993. It was number one in the States, like I said, which was their kind of foot in the door to make it big over there. This is the most piss weak. We haven't said cod reggae too often, but because this is a cover and you know the original, this is such an awful cod reggae version of this song. And I don't mind the song. I think the Elvis song's pretty cool.
But it's even worse than that, though. It's not even... It's, you know, when you talk about weak, you talk about something being watered down. But there's a different... Like, there's a big difference between when you make a glass of squash and you don't put enough cordial in it. It's too weak, right? And then there's a difference between when you get a fountain drink and the post mixers run out and you taste that water and it's disgusting.
It is, yeah. It's undrinkable.
And this is what that is. It's gone so weak that it's become disgusting.
Right. It is. Can
you imagine the amount of shit weddings that this was the first answer?
Oh, God, it would have been as well.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
All the towny fucking cunts that used to come in HMV and buy stuff.
Last song at terrible discos.
Yeah, this was probably the wedding song right up until the point that Robbie Williams released Angels.
Oh, okay, right. Or at least until Robson and Jerome started their career.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking...
This is awful. This is a low point in an album which has some very low points.
Yeah, it's the most vanilla music for the most basic bitches in the planet.
And the video for it as well, because it was in Sliver, like we've discussed, which is the kind of the sexy Sharon Stone film, but voyeurism and cameras in apartments and stuff like this. Yeah. The video for it has lots of clips of that in there, and it has sort of shots of the band in a lift, looking at them as if they were on CCTV or in a corridor. And it's like, I don't want to think of any of UB40, especially not six of them in the same place, as being sexy and me looking at them while maybe having a wank. I do not want this forced upon me.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, mate. Some of that is on you.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
Fuck, some of it is on you. Jesus.
Also, the drum break at the beginning, where I was like, I wonder, is this going to be how it goes? It's a funky drummer. It's James Brown's funky drummer. But it is specifically the version that is used in Run DMC's Run's House. It's that way that they've treated it. How in hell have UB40 ever heard Run's House? I can't imagine that's a thing. One of them. Maybe
knows? Who knows? Let's move on.
Oh, well, just last thing I've got on this.
Still.
Just because I was looking through other cover versions I was trying to think, all right, there must be some really good ones that I'm like, it proves that you can do a good version of this song. And there's some that are all right. There's some that are fine. But turns out that John Hinckley, who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan, has a YouTube channel where he performs some songs on there. And he's done a version of this. Still better than UB40's.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think, just randomly, what was that guy called? The guy that used to sing for Pulp?
Vis Cocker.
That's him,
yeah, that's him, yeah. Nice.
Right, well, let's move swiftly on to the singles.
Right, okay.
I imagine we've got a bumper crop, have we?
We absolutely do, mate. We've got some really quality shit in here.
Well, lovely. Let's bang through the top 10 and see where we're at.
Top 10 is looking like this. So, number 10 is a new entry. Recognise this at all?
Not yet.
I mean, exactly. This is a bit of a slow intro.
I do know this.
Oh yeah, no. Well, it's one of your favourite artists.
just Rain by Madonna.
It is, exactly. Absolutely. Madonna, Rain.
What's this on? It's on Bedtime Stories.
Erotica, apparently.
Is it on Erotica?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're still releasing stuff off Erotica at this point. I don't know if it's like that.
Again, as I've said to you many times, this is the kind of the era of Madonna that I know.
The tipping point had been before.
Yeah, I didn't really reconnect with Madonna again until Frozen at the back end of the 90s.
Right, so there was that mid-90s bit where you were out for a little while.
And I've never really gone back and caught up with it, to be honest.
Yeah, fine. Well, number 9 is Gabrielle's Dreams, which we've seen before. Number 8, and we've talked about this before, but I think this is the first time we've actually seen it.
Okay, yeah. Obviously... Boom Shakalaka Rude Boy, there we go.
There you go.
Because I couldn't get out of my head that it was fucking Zig and Zag for a second. Apache Indian,
Boom Shakalak off the Nuff Vibes EP.
Nuff Vibes EP.
Yeah, so the Nuff Vibes EP was at number 8. And like we're saying, there is some of this kind of ragga tinge stuff going on and make it big in the charts.
I think the Nuff Vibes EP has got a bun on it as well, whatever that song of the cheese and the cake.
Fun, yeah, it has.
Yeah, fun, the cheese and the cake and a gun.
Exactly, fun. Yeah. Number 7, well, for example, number 7, Chaka Davis and Pliers, Tease Me is still in there.
Yeah.
Number 6, this is a new entry. Well, we've sort of briefly mentioned it before, and I suspect, like me, you'll probably think, wait, isn't this Africa by Toto?
Yeah.
Because it even comes in with some panpipey stuff.
Wow.
No, exactly. But it's not.
No. Oh, that's Annie Lennox. Is it not? Is it? Oh.
There you go.
Billy Joel,
The River of Dreams, the single, is in the charts here. And I do remember this coming out and thinking it was very silly, but it's very, very catchy.
Yeah, I've got a bit of love for Billy Joel here and there.
Oh, I do genuinely love a lot of Billy Joel. I didn't necessarily at this time, but I didn't know so much at this time. But this was when I remember coming out in my period, and I was like, oh, this is silly, but it's fun. Yeah, I can't deny that it is very catchy. It's not, Piano Man, and it's not Saints from Italian Restaurant. Classic, serious Billy, but it's good fun.
It's not We Didn't Start the Fire, either.
It certainly isn't, no. Number 5.
Nice.
I mean, we've got quite a lot of reggae stuff going on, it turns out.
We have. It's raining.
Yeah.
By who?
So, it's called It Keeps Raining, Tears From My Eyes.
I can't remember. I've heard this many times. I can't remember for the life of me who it was.
Now, Bitty McLean.
Bitty McLean.
Bitty.
That's a sad name,
isn't it?
Post Little Britain. That's a bad
Bitty,
name.
Bitty McLean. So that's number 5. So, like I say, lots of this stuff going on. Number 4, Four Non Blondes, What's Up, which we've seen. Number 3, Take That and Pray. Number 2, it's a new entry, and I remember this coming out, and even though it's cheesy as shit, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, got The Secret by Urban Cookie Collective.
Urban Cookie Collective, The Key, The Secret, absolutely.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, this is great fun. This is kind of maybe towards the tail end almost of that chart dance
rave,
stuff. Yeah, but yeah.
What was that other single?
Urban Cookie Collective.
They're another big single as well.
Let's see if Spotify will tell me. Feels Like Heaven is the second one, or High on a Happy Vibe.
No.
Nothing I really remember. No, this is the only one I remember.
That feels like heaven, I think I remember.
Possibly.
Don't matter.
And then number 1 is a terrible remix. I'm not even going to bother playing. It's a terrible remix of Living on My Own by Freddie Mercury. It's the 1993 remix, and it's just shit. It's an embarrassment to everyone involved. So that's the top 10, and then a load of other stuff. So we'll run through a load of this. Bon Jovi released I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, which is obviously off the album that we've already done, so you've seen that. This one, you'll absolutely know it, but you might not get it straight away because it sounds...
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, you'll know it.
Oh, so this is Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Check Yourself with Das FX.
That's exactly it. Check yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. With Das FX. Exactly, it's the remix.
Fat dicks in your ass is bad for your health.
Who knew? Thanks, Ice.
I'd like to point out, not necessarily. Actually, a fairly reasonable thing to do if that's what you're into.
Go for it, mate. Have fun. Got to number 36, that one. Another one that came out, and I bought this at the time, really enjoyed it. I don't know if you would have been aware at the time or not. I think I picked it up because it was reviewed in NME very favourably, sort of like, if you like Andy Weatherall kind of things, you'll like this. And it's absolutely along those lines of the Screamydelica Productions. Only got to number 43.
It's not ringing any bells at the minute.
No, fair enough.
No, I don't remember this at all, I'm afraid.
The band is called One Dove.
Right.
And this is called White Love.
No,
Right.
I'm afraid that's a complete black hole.
But it's very pleasant. It's, I guess along the... Remember, what was it? Transglobal Underground?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of feel
exactly.
to it as well. Okay, so that was out. I did enjoy that at the time. I think I've still got the 12 of that somewhere. Green Jelly released Anarchy in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck,
No
yeah.
thanks.
And I got to number 25, that one, somehow. This one of the biggest indie singles ever.
Okay, so it's a Cannibal Breeder.
Absolutely. Breeders with Cannonball. And it only got to number 40 in the charts.
But I heard this at a club every single fucking
Every
week.
single time. I mean, this was one of the ones that was an absolute treat for indie DJs, because you were like, oh, well, here we go. That's a floor filler every time.
And it really crossed over as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It kind of the grunge kids, the indie kids. Do you know what I mean?
But even through the Britpop days, this would still get hammered. Absolutely brilliant bass line. It's fucking fantastic. So yeah, that was out. It's on the Last Splash album, which is it's a treat. It really is. Sugar released Tilted, which is off the Beaster album. So we obviously did the Copper Blue album whenever we did our special. Beaster was the mini album after that, and Tilted was off that. Only got to number 48. Urge Overkill released Sister Havana, got to number 67. Couldn't even tell you what that sounds like. This one got to number 13, and you might remember it.
We sold our souls to the man.
I do remember this somehow.
Yeah.
What is this?
I mean, if I told you who it was, you'd be like, oh, that sounds just like them.
It's Ministry, isn't
No.
it? It's not Ministry?
No, got to number 13.
What the fuck is it?
Oh, that doesn't sound like him too much. Andy Cairns.
It's Therapy.
It's Therapy, yeah. That's Opal Mantra.
I mean, I have heard this. I must have heard. They must have been playing that fucking.
Yeah, it was one of their lesser known songs. It's off Trouble Gum, but it wasn't one of the big ones off Trouble Gum. But yeah, got to number 13, which is a decent crossover for them, to be honest. Might as well play this because fuck it, it's absolutely fun.
Yeah.
Onyx
by
and
Onyx,
Slam, like we said, off the Back to Fuck Up album. Got to number 31 in the UK charts. Hooah! Wicked.
There was a remix they did with Biohazard called the Bionics remix.
That's right. Yes. Oh, that was quality as well. I did enjoy that.
Yep, that one from the ghetto one. Yeah,
Yeah, so good. This one got to number 14, and we had one of his on the last episode, but this is a different one.
Tenacious D.
It does sound like it, doesn't it? And I do like this. It's very just gentle, very pleasant. Paul Weller. This is Wildwood. This is the title track of the Wildwood album. Yeah, and this was whenever he was having his little bit of a resurgence sort of thing.
Yeah.
Getting a lot more press, a lot more love from people who'd ignored him for 10 years. This one got to 34. See if you remember. I remember this being played quite a lot. Definitely, it was on MTV all the time whenever I had that one summer in America. We definitely talked about this band in the previous episode with Stephen of Riot Act, but we were all saying we didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
See if we get the chorus in a wee second.
No.
Soul Asylum.
Okay.
Somebody to Shove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was, I think that was the follow-up to that big one. Maybe it was before it, whatever. But yeah, I do remember that. Again, I remember just seeing it on MTV so many times.
I think this is the worst singles round I've ever had in the
possibly.
history of the podcast. I'm doing terribly here.
Well, I'll tell you what then. I'll throw in an easy one for you.
Okay, fair enough. It's a Rage Against the Machine Bomb track.
It certainly is. And I got to number 37 in this time period. And this is now probably a year and a bit after the album release. And I'm guessing this is probably like the fourth single off there. I'm not sure. But yeah, still releasing stuff, and still releasing brilliant singles.
Blood splatter vinyl, wasn't
it? It is bomb track. Absolutely, it is. There's two more that I've got. One of these you'll get because it was huge. And it got to number...
Aerosmith.
No,
isn't it? I thought it was Sam.
Oh, no.
Hang on, what is it? Oh, fuck, what is it? I know this song so well.
Oh, yeah. I think this was the one that was sampled in his Craig David collaboration.
Yeah, it's fucking Sting, obviously.
It is. It's Sting and Shape of My Heart.
Shape of My Heart.
Yes. Shape of My Arse. So yeah, that's off the 10 Summoner's Tales album.
Yeah.
But the last one I've got, and I'll be amazed if you get this, but you may well have heard it. It's only got to number 67. It's called In You. And it's shockingly bad. And we always refer to this artist as a one-hit wonder because this is the other stuff that they tried to follow up his massive single.
Who is it? Is it like...
I mean, if we're talking about white men that do reggae or ragga...
Is this Snow?
Snow.
You're fucking joking.
There you go, mate. Snow.
Wow, this is... Wow.
This was the follow-up, I think, to Informer. No, I mean, you'd have got Snow from that.
I mean, he just said Cool and Deadly again. and he just called himself an article Don again as well.
What, you calling him a one-trick pony?
This is just basically the same verse.
Well...
He's just learned how to say a few things, hasn't he?
He's trying to make a sexy song. God's sake. Well, there you are. To finish off the singles with a bit of snow.
Well, there
Beautiful.
we go, mate. Well, which is quite fucking apt today because it has snowed.
Yeah, we're at the start of April and it's been snowing in Brighton.
Yeah, April showers aren't normally white.
Yeah, god damn it.
Anyway,
there you are.
Let's crack back on with this motherfucker.
Let's
shall we?
get to the end, okay. So we're back into the UB40 album at track number 8, which is called Now and Then. What the fuck is that?
I mean, it's that weird like 20s jazz sample.
Has someone replaced everything with a child's toy in the studio?
Duke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear.
Now this is absolute nails down a chalkboard.
Yeah. And this is another one of the ones where I went, all right, with all of those band members producing their own album, did not one of them pipe up at any point and go, oh, lads, no, we've gone too far. This is terrible. What are we thinking?
Mate, this is it's another dismal plodder with comedy sound effects in it.
Why are you putting these sound effects
in?
It's
like a fucking Tex Avery cartoon.
Yes.
Boing. The lyrics in this one are ridiculous as well. Like, he's imagining how life could be better. Right?
Daydreaming a bit.
Right? Yeah, daydreaming a bit. Wouldn't it be better if I didn't have to wait in the rain for a bus? When was the last time you waited for a bus, you cunt?
UB40. Wouldn't it be great if I had superpowers and could, vanquish my foes at will?
And then he just goes, oh yeah, well I'm all right though.
And by the end of the song, he's like, well, that's never going to happen. I guess I'll just live my life and then die.
You've wasted everyone's time.
Yeah. That's vanquishing his foes. If his foes were people who didn't like UB40, there'd be very few people left, surely.
I mean, I'd be happily vanquished.
Yeah, fucking give it to me, mate.
I mean, if it meant I didn't have to listen to this. Yeah. If they didn't have this wherever the vanquishing occurred.
Right, yeah.
I've been vanquished to a land without reggae.
Oh, God.
Right, no.
Terrible.
No. Awful.
Terrible. And honestly, this is another one where I'm going, Is this a joke? Have they done this to be funny? But no, they haven't. This is what they wanted to
Right,
do.
and here is a song title that is just a red flag in the first place.
Oh, go on.
Things ain't like they used to be.
Horrible sound. Horrible.
So we're going housey, are we?
Yep. It's Wigfield. It's Gypsy Woman. It's that sort of horrendous keyboard noise.
See, the weird thing is,
Yeah.
I'm listening to this now, and it's obviously it's awful.
Yeah.
Right? It's awful.
Obviously.
But I'm looking at my notes that I wrote directly after I listened to the previous song,
Yeah.
and I went, at least it's a break from the reggae. I'm giving it a bit of a pass.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because it sounds different to the worst excesses of the rest of it.
Right.
It's and that is just a testament to how shit the rest of it is.
Yeah.
It's mostly anonymous.
But then it goes those bits where they shout a couple of words. Like, cry for war.
But there is a horn break, and the horn break's quite fun.
All right. Let's see if I can find some of that. Bird inside. Like someone's just jabbed them with a pin at some points and they've shrieked.
I mean, look, bottom line is I hate it.
That's terrible.
But I
This is
hate
awful.
it less than some of the other ones.
I see.
And that is where we are now.
So this album has worn you down to this extent. Because I'm absolutely 9 tracks into a UB40 album and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
if I just poked myself in the ear, would I go deaf and I wouldn't have to hear
Yeah,
this?
I hate this. And the thing I was going to say about the second track
Yeah.
that I didn't want to say at the time is I think that's my favourite track on the album. I
right.
don't really like that very much.
Okay. God.
We'll wrap it up at some point. Let's
Yeah.
move on from this shit.
Okay, so yeah, that.
Let's do the next one, which is called It's a Long, Long Way.
Okay, what's these little quizzes going on? Alright.
It's the awful samples I've written.
They totally misused all of these samples. Yeah. Yeah, if you told me that this was a kind of a one-hit wonder joke reggae band, I'd be like, all right, yeah, that makes sense, because this is terrible.
I genuinely think that Zig and Zags, The Girls They All Love Me, has got more artistic merit than this.
Oh.
And hang on, here we go. Now, is this Ali Campbell singing?
I don't think so, no.
I hope not.
I think if it's toasting at someone else.
I don't know. It sounds a little bit Ali Campbell.
I mean, I'm not saying for sure. I think they split those duties.
I just want to know if it's Ali Campbell doing the voice. Because that's what I want.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is a song about middle class reacting to real problems in the real world, isn't it? It's like, it's happening a long, long way away. Don't worry. I've got my credit card. And it's it's very smug. And it's like, what fucking Activision have you been doing, mate? Like, well, this woman's got a fucking credit card out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What? I don't think you've got a leg to stand on, my friend.
Yeah.
Having built an entire career on stealing music from a different culture, right?
Well, we do have to, make the caveat that UB40 was not just white people in there.
No.
It's a complete mixed bag of backgrounds and people from various cultures. But Ali Campbell is kind of the face of UB40 a lot of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
the incredibly white face.
White and wrinkled, craggy face. And there's a reason this is put at track number 10 on an album, because you could not justify putting this at the front end because people wouldn't listen any further. And the samples in here, it's like, it is literally, they've discovered how to use those buttons and have overdone it and used it badly.
The only thing I can possibly imagine is that they've listened to this song when they're doing the track listing of this song, of this album. They've heard this song and they've gone, oh, hang on a minute. What should we do for the last song?
Uh-huh.
And then the last song is called
Sorry. Holy God. You better be sorry.
What? So look.
Panpipes? Panpipes? What?
So here's another political polemic song, right?
Absolutely.
And now this one is about reparations.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to say to you, what this is a song about stealing from West Indians, done in a style stolen from West Indians.
Yeah. with a white man singing.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like, right, have you seen your fucking audience?
They could have given this one to one of the black members to sing. Mm-hmm. But no, Ali's singing this one. He's singing the line, "Give me what belongs to me."
I think whatever you say here, they were on fucking dodgy, or whatever their background is at this point, they have made a lot of money, and they're in this fucking point of view, and it doesn't sit well on the same record that's got that fucking Elvis Presley cover on it.
I see. Okay.
That's to me. Fair enough, man. It's not my fucking battle. You write your song. You can say whatever you like. That's up to you. But you can also go. I mean, my primary problem with it is it's a shit song, right?
It is. It's rubbish.
And my primary problem with all of this stuff, right, which I am amplifying, I don't necessarily 100% believe in everything I'm saying, because sometimes we exaggerate things for a bit of a joke, right?
Indeed.
And that's the truth of the matter. But what this all comes down to is the sound of this record, which is the primary thing, has made me progressively angrier every time I fucking put it on.
Oh, really?
It is both. It is both insipid and infuriating at the same time. I've said that about the other song, and it stands true for most of the fucking record.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the worst records we've done.
Oh, easily.
It's easily the worst record we've done by an artist of their stature.
Okay.
I mean, well, I suppose Cliff Richard is also, but in a band that, in theory, are closer to the touchstones of the things that I like.
Right, okay.
I just had a terrible time with this record.
And it is very it's very badly balanced as well, because you've got 5 singles off it. They all take place within like the first 7 songs. And then we're left with this just fucking backwash at the end.
I mean, much of it just sounds like B-sides.
This last section we've done has been wall-to-wall dog shit. There's not even anything where we've gone, oh, well, that bit's okay or whatever. They've just thrown a load of rubbish at you. I've said, I think this is the worst back end since I saw the video of that weightlifter prolapsing.
Oh, wow.
It's that bad.
That is
just solidly awful for the last third.
Yeah, it's really bad. I despise it.
Very bad indeed. I'm glad it's done, and I'm glad I never have to hear this again.
Yeah. So in wrapping up, what I will say to it, positives.
Yeah.
It's quite short.
It could have been worse. It's 11 tracks, and there's no 7-minute epics on here.
No, I mean, it's a 5-minute 40, let's not forget.
Totally.
Let's not be too kind.
And so many of these songs, like I have said, should have been finished 2 minutes earlier, but then they've just repeated the first couple of verses again for no reason. So it could have been a lot shorter, which would have been better, but it also could have been worse.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at see if any of the Twitter people agree with us. So yeah, we put a little message on Twitter, basically almost asking for sympathy because we knew we were going to have to do this, but seeing if anybody else had any opinions on the album, whether they had it at the time. Very few people knew anything about it, but we did get some nice messages of sympathy. So, Lee Lewis, Disorder Lee, simply said, "You poor bastards," which kind of encapsulates how we were feeling as well. Ben Collins has said, "Thanks for listening to this so we don't have to. If Can't Help Falling in Love is anything to go by, it'll be awful." God, those dark weeks when that was number 1. It was a bad time for everyone involved.
Mike Albert, knowing your love of reggae, this should be a good one.
Yeah, we pretty much flagged up how this was going to go a little way.
Number 1 rerun. Just discuss how weird it is they've replaced Ali Campbell with his own brother.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they'd done that.
Yeah, they did. But the thing is, because we've alluded, they've absolutely fell out. In about 2008, they very badly fell out. Ali Campbell left, saying that he wanted to go solo, but then almost immediately set up UB40 with Ali Campbell as a separate entity.
Why didn't you just call it UB41?
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
And so, bad blood happened. Another member of UB40 left and joined Ali Campbell, and then someone else did as well, I think. And so there were 2 very distinct UB40 acts going on.
UB40.
Quite, that they had to differentiate between each other. And at some point, the original UB40 that Ali Campbell left drafted in his brother, who's Duncan Campbell, to do vocals. Yeah. Duncan, he's not with them anymore. He had a stroke, so he had to retire. Right. So that they've got someone else in. But for about 10 years or so, Ali Campbell's brother was tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Ali Campbell.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah. But I did notice, again, because I was looking up, what had happened with various people and a couple of different biogs. And Duncan Campbell, his brother, is a professional spoons player, and he was at one point the only professional spoons player who was licensed by whatever music federation there was in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, indeed.
Fuck me. Ollie Woodstock, can you record the full episode without naming any fish?
Yeah, we failed.
Do you know, I'm not even sure that we have said Cod Reggae yet.
Oh, no, I
have
did.
now.
I did.
Okay, cool.
I did. Giovanni Bieni, he said the first version of Can't Help Falling in Love I ever heard was Corey Hart's, showing your age. And that is tied to some precious childhood memories, but I can see now that it's disgustingly treacly and pandering, and yet, compared to UB40's version, it's a fucking masterpiece. I mean, of course it is. And like I said, John Hinckley did a version. That, compared to UB40's version, is a fucking masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're absolutely right, mate.
David Burgess, I recall perhaps incorrectly that the summer of 93 was hot, and this was on every Vauxhall Astra stereo. Considering Shaggy, Shabba and Snow had hits, this was the easily lessening light reggae for the masses. You may think others are worse, but Bring Me Your Cup is absolute dog shit.
Oh, yeah, he had a particular thing about that song, yeah. The sexy one, that was dreadful.
We all hated it.
Yeah.
John in Leeds, The Horror.
Yeah, just simply The Horror. You're totally right. Totally right. Dave Roddy has got in touch, but this time he says, I have nothing to give. I did meet a girl in 1990 who had a Labour of Love t-shirt, which was a previous album of UB40's. That's as much as Dave Roddy has on it.
Fair enough, mate.
Usually you got more than that, Dave, but I understand why you wouldn't.
I mean, Brad of 77 is in. I got nothing on this record, guys. Sorry, have a GIF. Let's play some Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Daniel Martin. I Can't Help Falling in Love is the only one I remember, although I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
I just love the fact they called a song reggae music in case anyone wasn't sure what UB40 were all about. To be fair, you could listen to that album and be unsure what they were about.
Pure Road Coffee and Art, Mike Luttrell has simply put, fucking awful.
Yeah.
Fair, totally fair. We do have DJT, though, who's coming in defence of the album. Fair play, mate. Fair play. He's saying it's actually an excellent album. C'est la vie, Desert Sand, Sorry, Higher Ground, Bring Me Your Cup, Can't Help Falling in Love are standouts.
Oh, mate.
So, dude, I hope you haven't hated this too much.
Well, he says, what's your episode about? A review type thing. I look forward to hearing it. I don't think he's heard us before.
No.
A DJT, I'm very sorry. This may not be
I think
entirely for you, mate.
He's a newcomer from the Riot Act crossover we did.
Sorry,
this is not going to be fair. Don't judge us just on this one. We've got Martin Young, who says, I don't have any opinion, sorry, other than UB40 are perhaps my most hated band in the entire world. Strong words. I'm looking forward to a real hate listen for this next episode. Well, hopefully, we've managed to at least raise a bit of a semi for you.
He does say that although the next one is one of his all-time faves, which he's nervous because he thinks we're going to hate it. What is the next one?
Mariah Carey, Music Box.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Joe Sullivan, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hashtag New Kids Did It Better.
Mate, I would absolutely take an 11-track album of New Kids on the Block, Stay With Me Baby, over having to listen to this again.
As that, bruv.
Yeah.
Gourmand Farms, as a white British reggae musician, I'm constantly embarrassed that England's contribution to the genre is encapsulated in UB40 and the Police. We could be talking about Aswad or Steel Pulse, but I wonder what could be at play here.
Yes.
I can't imagine, mate. I can't imagine Gourmand Farms.
Yeah. Heathen Stephen has just put Stay Strong. Thanks very much. Yeah, we appreciate the support.
So yeah, there we go, man. Now we're really gonna have to let the bees out of the
hey, nice
here, because we've got to pick a song to put on the playlist.
Have to. That's the rules.
I mean,
if anyone hasn't listened before, we have an ongoing playlist. We have to put at least one song from every single album that we do, the number ones, up to a maximum of 3 per album.
Yeah.
But we can't do none. Even if we didn't like anything, we can't do none. No. So we have to do something. Your favourite was number 2, Desert Sound.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't like that one bit.
No.
So I'd say no. The ones I liked, you really didn't like.
Yeah.
So
there's only one other song that I think is halfway passable on this.
Is it reggae music?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, again, I thought that half of it was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and then the chorus completely fucked it, but at least it's got half.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that, yeah?
Yeah.
Reggae music.
Reggae music, that's going on.
Wow.
I look forward to hearing that.
Good Christ.
That's a song I'm going to hear more in my lifetime now than I ever thought
Jesus,
I'd need to.
Imagine. Right, fine.
Anyway, so guys, we're going to be back as soon as we can with Mariah Carey next time. Busta Rhymes with Mariah Carey? No, it doesn't. One of my favourites. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this. I mean, if you are a UB40 fan, we are sorry, man. But I mean, not the things we've said, just sorry for you. But yeah, we will be back soon. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Take it easy.
Bye. thank you for checking out this episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. It was produced and edited by us, for which we can only apologise. We're on Twitter at PCL Podcast, on Instagram also at PCL Podcast, and facebook.com/PCL Podcast. All of these, plus links to our various Spotify playlists, etc., are on our website, which is pclpodcast.com. Please feel free to get in contact via any of the social media or on pclmusicpodcast@gmail.com.
Ali Campbell's creamy mushroom.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, dear.